it is our fun Free Friday giveaway, and today I'm excited to be presenting one of my new favorite devices. It is the Axis Pro Air Compression Massage Boots. So, being that it is coming off of spring break, I have to tell you a little story about what's been going on in my life here lately, and I've got little pictures here to show you. I just got back from a week-long vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands in St. Thomas and St. John. And while I was on vacation, I ended up taking a great hike because we're all supposed to stay moving, right? So I go on this wonderful hike, had on some trail shoes, tripped over one too many rocks that were stuck in the ground, a couple of tree roots, and ended up in breaking my toes. Broke two of my toes. Not a fun experience. Very, very painful. So I'm going to show you what this looked like, because the product that we are launching today is going to be one of those kind of products that can help anybody, whether you got broken toes, whether you've got plantar fasciitis, whether you've got shin splints, or you've just got issues with trying to get circulation, trying to get the lactic acid, oxidative stress out of your extremities. It's got so many wonderful, great benefits. But as I hobble myself around this last couple days, because I did this just last week, I'm going to show you a picture of my toes. Okay, so those are both my feet. I actually was wearing protective shoes, but if you can see there on that middle toe, it is multiple shades of purple and black, and very, very painful. Still is very painful. And then on my other little foot, or my other little bitty toe, I should say, little bitty toe, right there, the little pinky toe, you can see how it's all bruised and black and blue. So broke two toes on a trail, hiking to see a secluded beach, which was really pretty cool until it wasn't. But nonetheless, I made it to the hike, made it to the beach, and it was beautiful. In order to rejuvenate and recharge, to be able to serve, all the different ways that I get to share with all of you. But anyhow, the reason why I wanted to share that picture with you is because today could not be any perfect for the type of device that I personally need in order to recover from injuring my foot. We are going to be giving a set of these away to one of you who's listening in and is in need of a set of these air compression massage boots. So as we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, I would love to hear how you would like to be able to utilize these new compression boots. Again, we've had compression boots very similar to these released in years past, referred to as the Axis air compression boot systems. These are now the professional version of that. And I can tell you that this is one of the greatest products that we use in my recovery-based facility here on a daily basis. We use them here every day, have for several years since releasing these back in 2020, the original set. And we have just enhanced because as recovery is becoming more and more noticeable, is becoming more educated, more studied, we're trying to continue to keep up with the trends, but also keeping it at a world-class level versus just throwing you something that everybody else might have, or throwing you something that's just good enough. We're always doing innovative research and trying to provide you the next best product that's available out on the market, and keeping up with not only the standard, but staying ahead of the standard. So I'm excited to share with you this new product. Again, it's the Axis Professional Air Compression Massager Boots. So if you happen to see me in pictures presenting, because I couldn't share these too soon, but if you happen to see me laying around with these big boots all the way up to my thighs and they're all puffy, these are what you're seeing. And again, this is one of my absolute favorite products. So if you're looking for gifts, whether it's for Easter, my birthday is coming up, guys. My birthday, my 45th birthday is coming up here in just a few more weeks, April the 27th. So I'm going to try and stream live that day so I can celebrate my birthday with all of you, because I've done that each and every year, and I always love celebrating my birthday with all of you. But if you're looking for a birthday gift, how about Mother's Day? Mother's Day is coming up. I don't know about you, but me as a mother, I love just being able to lay at home in a lounger and pamper myself. And this is one of those extraordinary products that every mother, grandmother, or expecting mother would love to have, because I tell you, you can't go wrong. You don't have to go to a facility in order to use them. You have them from the convenience of your home. There are other competitor boots that run around $1,000. I actually started with those boots back in 2019, 2020. I paid $1,500 for that set of boots and to have a set of hips to go with them. And they were not anything comparable to what we have today. In fact, Life Pro not only provides an extraordinary product, but extraordinary warranty with customer service. So I ended up sending the name brand boots back of the originals and waited for Life Pro to come out with the Axis air compression boot systems. And now I've got 14, get this guys, I have 14 sets of those boots that we use here in this facility on a regular basis, 14 sets. Now I get to add 15 because now we have the new Pro set. So again, one of you, because we are excited to have one of you being able to experience this from your convenience of your home at our expense, we're going to select one of you to receive the set of boots today, delivered to your doorstep so that you can give and share your experience as to how it's changing your life. And I'm going to continue to enjoy using mine for my broken toes on both feet. So for those of you that are just chiming in, I just got back from spring break in St. Thomas, went on a 5-mile hike to a secluded beach and broke 2 toes in the process. So I've been enjoying these boots. But I'm going to pop up here and see who all is listening in. For those of you who might have Raynaud syndrome, yes, you can actually help with Raynaud syndrome. And I'm going to show you something really cool with these. What makes these so different versus the original Axis air compression boots is you can actually insert a heat pack or you can insert a cold gel pack inside the boot. I've never seen a set of boots in which you can do that. So like I said, we're always coming up with something much greater than what's already out there. And so if you do have challenges with circulation, you get Raynaud syndrome, just make sure with Raynaud, you don't have the ability to feel the same way. So make sure that you're keeping the pressure at a tolerable level so that you're not applying too much pressure, because if you do have Raynaud syndrome and if you do have trouble with sensory in the feet, we don't want to create so much pressure that you can't feel if you are getting circulation down or pushing that circulation down. So make sure that you are checking to make sure that you're getting good capillary refill in the extremities. But yes, if you have trouble with circulation down in the extremities, if you are diabetic and you have trouble with getting circulation down into areas of the extremities to prevent from having open sores or ulcerations, again, make sure that you understand what your blood pressure levels are, because the massage settings on these are based on millimeters of mercury. So we want to make sure that we're not choosing an intensity level that's so great that it's going to create more problems than it's going to help. For those of you who are getting back into spring outdoors, one of the great things about being on vacation was being able to enjoy the warm weather and being outside without having to worry about warming the body up. So for those of you who are getting ready to start mini marathon training, doing triathlons, getting into mud obstacle course training, or we're back into track and field season for middle school, high school sports, as well as the NCAA. You can use a set of these boots on a daily basis just to flush the lactic acid out into the extremities so that you can recover a lot faster. I will tell you, majority of athletes that use these have been using these professionally for several years. What makes them very special for professional athletes to use them is you recover in 24 hours instead of 72 hours. So it really accelerates the recovery by eliminating the crap out of the system, the toxins in the system, and really infusing the blood flow to the tissues that need rejuvenation, recharge, and helps to maximize the healing opportunities through the oxygenation levels. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started on exactly why these are different from the original Axis air compression boots. Today, you can buy them using the link provided for $449.99. If you're wanting to save an extra $44 from today, you can type in, when you buy them using the link that's presented, you can type in, if there's a discount code box in the order summary, you'll type in Amber10, all one word, AMBER10, and that'll knock off an extra $44. And that code never expires. So if there's something else that you're wanting to buy for Mother's Day, or you're wanting to buy for your birthdays, that for friends that are in the area, or you've got a holiday that you like to celebrate, and or a form of gratitude or thankfulness. Um, if you're wanting to gift somebody something, right now we're having a wonderful spring sale. And again, that code works for a variety of items. Sometimes it doesn't work because they are already discounted at a much far rate than what you can use with double stacking. But if you are ever trying to find an extra discount, type in that Amber 10 code and see if that applies in the order summary. It does not apply on Amazon. But today, again, you can get the Access Pro air compression boot systems for $449, and then using that code, it knocks another $44 off. Okay, without further ado, excuse me, I'm so excited to share this that I have not drank enough water, so I'm getting dry mouth because, again, recovering from spring break, getting back into the swing of things. The whole set comes in this carry case, which is much different than the original carry case that we had before. I am in love with this carry case because the original set you would have to disassemble. These you don't have to disassemble. You can just stick them all in there with the control panel, which is a digital operated control panel. I love the new control panel. And again, we'll get into some of the comparisons and why these are so much better. When you get your product, there are some important first steps that you want to follow, because with this new control panel, we've got it charging and we've got it plugged in. So we've already quote unquote unlocked it, but they have a special lock on the control panel. I'm going to bring this up to you close and in person so you can see it. Got a little carry handle on here, okay? It's going to have a special little unlock feature. And so the controller comes locked to make sure that it doesn't actually turn on during shipping. Pretty clever right there, huh? And so to unlock it, you're going to plug the charging adapter into this DC port down here on the end. It's at the base of the controller, and you're going to plug the charging adapter into a standard wall outlet, okay? So those are the most important things. When you go to unlock it, if you wish to use the controller for travel or for storage, you can press and hold the power button for 10 seconds, and then there's a buzzer that will sound a couple of different times, and it will indicate that it's been locked. So let's give this a little try. Again, we've already unlocked ours, but if I hold the power button, you're actually probably not gonna be able to hear this, come to think of it, because I got the microphone in my ear. There we go. So hello, it says in multiple different languages, so you can use those. But is this not the coolest control panel ever? Like, as compared to the original control panel, right? Big difference. Love this. We've got 5 different modes of operation. I'm trying to get comfortable here with broken toes. We've got 5 different modes of operation here. The original here, we have 4. And we've got our 5 different intensity levels, which are indicated here with our next little button here. So all the buttons you need to use are right here. The original control panel, let me grab, there we go. The original control panel has quite a few buttons, okay? So it's got 8 buttons on the perimeter, and then it's got 1 right in the center that powers it on and off. This one is very user-friendly, easy to see the difference between, but your power on and off button is this round button right here. And let's go to power on. If I go to hold that, again, we're gonna hold the power button for a total of 10 seconds. It'll click twice, it'll beep twice, beep, beep, and then it locks the control panel. So when you're traveling, it doesn't accidentally turn itself on, okay? So we'll turn that back on. There we go. Now, this little button here, I like to think it looks like a flower, okay? It's got 4 little squares, so you can call it the squares, or you can look at it as it's like a flower inside the circle. You're gonna push that button, and it modes through, it goes through the different modes. So you can see A, B, C, D, E at the very top, and that's gonna tell you which mode that you're in, okay? And I'll go through the different modes here in just a second, because I don't have those memorized yet, because it's just a lot of information to remember. Then our next little button here is going to be your pressure. So that's your millimeters of mercury, and your entry level pressure is going to be 50. Okay, it goes all the way up to 250. I personally have never used it that high. very, very uncomfortable for me, but I've got fibromyalgia. So, and there's no decrease, increase. The original control panel, you actually have a decrease, increase button. This one, you just press it as many times as you need to get back to the start, okay? So every time you push it, it just goes all the way back to the beginning. Then we have our timer button. So it looks just like a little timer. So we push that little timer button and it increases our time 10 minutes at a time instead of 5 minutes at a time on the original control panel. And then once we get the boots plugged in, then, whoop, I was pushing the power button. There we go. Once you push the power button and you have the boots intact and plugged in, then you can experience the joy that comes along with the 5 different massage modes that this works with. So, but make sure there's a wonderful little card that comes enclosed in your packaging that tells you how to unlock the control panel. So if yours does not work when it arrives, make sure that you follow these steps. Do not throw away the yellow card. Super important so that you know how to turn it on when you get your product. Okay, I am super excited about this. And so I want to show you here real quick. You can use it plugged in or you can use it wirelessly, but it does have a little plug-in that plugs into the bottom. So if you do run out of juice, you can plug this in and you can use it in coordination with the wall so that you can use it even when the battery is dead. So what makes these quite a bit different, go through here. These come with a completely different setup for how we attach them into the leg panels, okay? So on the original boots, we have several different attachment pieces, and these are already made up there for you, and they attach a little differently than what the others do. The others, you can actually disassemble them. In fact, you actually have to disassemble them every time you put them back in the bag. These are created to make it much more seamless as to how you apply them, and you don't have to disassemble them every time you want to put them in the travel pack. So that's the new Pro set. And then the originals, they actually have this little clip that you actually can work your way out, and they plug in individually, and they come with extra clips. The new ones don't have those. Much easier to use the new ones. So want to make sure we're sharing with you the differences, because I know people are going to ask what's the difference between the original Access boots and the Access Pro boots. The Access Pro boots, they're just way better. A lot of different options that the others don't have. But hey, like I said, we're innovating all the time. And if there's one thing that you don't have that you need to have at home for a variety of different health benefits, it's this. This is my absolute, aside from the whole body vibration platform, doesn't matter which one you have, of all the products that LifePro has manufactured and released, the whole body vibration platform is my #1 favorite item. My #2 favorite item are these set of boots right here. And I don't know that my business would function the same way without them. I don't think I would function the same way without them, because I keep a set at my house. And then, like I said, now we're up to 15 pairs in my business operation, because we specialize in pain relief and recovery. And we love to be able to promote the boots for people to be able to take them from here if they want to rent them, or if they want to use them at home by buying their own set. But we have like little parties where we bring in like 15 to 20 people at a time, and we put them all in these loungers, and we're all just chillaxing in a set of boots for everybody. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can use them from the convenience of your home. But this is our attachment cable, and it does come attached with Velcro so that you can keep better control over these different points. But this is what makes these so handy. I'm going to use a different stool here so I can show these to you really close. There we go. Okay, so we have the hoses that are already attached to the boots, okay, to each boot. And these boots zip. These do not Velcro, so they're fully enclosed, all right, which is what I like. I like that about these. Now, this is going to, this piece right here is going to clip in here on the end, okay? And the originals are very similar, but these are, again, I think these are so much more user-friendly, but we clip in, and there is that piece. Now, if you are wanting to get up and move around and disconnect really easy, it's super easy to disconnect, but these are, both of these will go into the end attachment here. But when you're trying to store these, this is really important for us because we hang them on the wall. But when you're trying to keep these together, they actually do come with Velcro that helps them to roll up, keeping them close together. So that makes these that much better, in my opinion. Super easy to detach so that if you have to get up quick, you don't have to go through the process of trying to move a lot of parts around in order to stabilize or store them. Now, I'm going to go back through here on the end. This is a little input. So you're going to put, both sets are going to clip into this in port, and then you can start operating from there. If you want to put them on first because you don't want to get all tangled up, that's the other cool feature about these. So we're going to pull these on, but before we do that, there's a surprise here on the inside. What makes this product so much different from any other product I've ever seen on the market is we have a heating pad that has the potential to be built in on the inside. And what I mean by that is it comes with this Velcro sleeve that you attach here on the inner leg. So if you're wanting to have heat around the outside of the knee or the inside of the knee, you can actually attach this, which has the gel heat pack that is housed inside here. So if you have arthritis and you want the convenience of having heat applied with compression, you can do that by using this attachment with the Velcro. Or even better yet, if you decide you don't want to have a warm pack or a hot pack, you can actually put a freezer gel pack in the same setup, and you can use it around the knee or around, wherever it is that you're wanting to position it. But you can actually insert a gel pack, cold or warm, in order to get the benefits of both at the same time. So you're not having to use water in order to cycle through cold or warm. So this little pack will go here on the inside, and then it clips on here, or it Velcros on here on the inside, however you choose to use it. And then if you're actually wanting to use the heating component here on this little pad, this little USB will actually clip onto the control panel, and you get all the benefits all in one. So it's really, really cool in how it works. And I've never seen anything like this type of operation. This will be the first time I've seen anything like this. And guys, I see all this kind of stuff. I'm in this world professionally. I do this kind of work every day. So I always know what's coming through the pipelines. I've never seen anything like this. So I'm really, really proud to represent LifePro in this product. Let's say I've got pain right here on the inside of my knee. So I'm going to go ahead and put the boot on. And if you need to stand up in order to put the boot on, that's fine, but just don't walk around in it. It's not made to walk around in. Okay, let's talk circumference, okay? So I'm short, so the boots are really long on me. We don't make more than one size of boot. Just one size fits most, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you. If you are curious as to whether the LifePro flap goes on the inside or goes on the outside, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. However you want them to plug into your control panel. If you're wanting everything to stay streamlined through the center, then make sure that your panels are on the inside. If you're wanting to use ice or heat on the outside, then you're going to position your panels so that you're getting access to all that on the outside, okay? So very, very cool with how that works. The other thing really quick that I like about these, I'm just now noticing this, is I love this little loop strap. The original boots, as you're seeing here as I'm moving them along. Oh, by the way, they're connected. Both of the originals are connected at the center, so you have to carry them around together. These are not connected, so you have to carry two for one. These you can just carry around one. But the loop straps to be able to hang these up are much less heavy duty. These straps, you can hang those up and they'll stay firm on the wall without you having to worry about them not holding enough weight. So very, very cool that we don't have to keep the boots together all the time. It's not an inconvenience by any means, but it is an extra little bell and whistle to make note of. So now it's going to show here on the inside, extra, extra large. And I'm just telling you, they don't come in different sizes that I'm aware of. But the thigh circumference, so again, if you decide to put it on the outside, so the panels on the outside, you can. If you want to put it on the inside, we normally put them on our clients on the inside just to keep all the cables together in the center. Anyhow, okay, so thigh circumference. So I don't even have my tape measure here to measure my thigh, but I can get one if we need to. But as you can see, this boot is too long. So if I really wanted to get the majority of this down into my foot, and my foot fit the bottom of the cuff, we just unzip enough of it so I can get it higher up on my hip. Because if I zip it all the way up and my foot's not in the bottom, then you're gonna feel it a little different. So if you need to unzip it and open up the top so you can slide it up higher, then by all means do what you need to do in order to make it fit for your comfort level, okay? But thigh circumference is going to be, so actually let's start at the foot. The foot is about 15.7 inches round. For the calf, we're looking at 26 inches. And for the thigh, we're looking at 26 inches. When we get all the way up here to the hip, the circumference of the entire hip is 27.6. And then if we're looking at the foot length, so the bottom of the foot, 11.8. And if we're looking at the whole leg length, we're looking at 29.9, okay? So that's, those are our measurements. Now, when we actually go to inflate, all of these different chambers, we got 4 different chambers. We've got our foot, our calf, our thigh, and our hip. So 4 different chambers of air flowing through. And again, if you're interested in having a set of these, I need to know why you think you're going to get the best use out of them so that we can send them to the person who is really going to use them. And we'll be picking a winner to take these home with them or actually have them delivered to your doorstep before we're done with this episode. Okay, so I've got them on. Okay. Yep, I got the ability to squat and move around. They're not plugged in. They're not turned on yet, but we do have the ability to move. We're not constrained, okay? Now, here's the thing. These are one size fits most. I have clients who have very large thighs, whether it's because of muscle, working with professional athletes, whether it is because of lymphedema from a lot of swelling, whether it is from weight gain, it doesn't make any difference. I have got clients on both ends of the spectrum, professional sports, everybody in between, and then those who have thighs that are of a sizable circumference for different reasons. And I will tell you, there's not been anybody that we brought into our facility that we cannot use these boots on. What you do have to do, potentially, is you might just have to unplug them part of the way or unzip them part of the way down so that when the air chambers start to inflate, that we're not trying to blow out the zipper and we're able to get compression up to, let's say, beyond the knee. And then when we get up to up here where we're carrying a little bit more size, then we can still make use of the boots without having to worry about getting them zipped up all the way. So you don't have to zip them up all the way if you can't get them up all the way. If you're one of those individuals who wants to have access to them, the ends of them are not closed. They are open at the end. So if you wear a size 13, 14 shoe, you're still going to be able to use the boots and get access to the different chambers and feel relief from how they work. So yes, you can stand up in order to readjust them. Just don't stand up when they're inflating or when they're fully inflated because they're not meant to walk around in when they're inflated. Okay, so we have boots on. Now I'm going to sit down, and I like to use these little recliners. It's a lawn chair basically, but I like to use these recliners for all of our clients because it provides you like the ultimate in relaxation position. And if we are trying to work on flushing stuff back up into our lymphatic system, if we're able to get into more of a reclining position where our legs are up higher, isn't that ideal? I mean, that's what I think works really nicely. And our chairs have brakes on them, so you don't have to try to hold yourself up. So as I put myself up into this position where I can really relax. Now, this is not as high as this chair will go. I'll show you this here in just a second. I'm going to show you without the attachment pad first, and then I'll show you how to utilize the attachment pad. But we're going to clip in the hoses so that we can start airing up the chambers. And again, super easy to plug and go, and there's no right or wrong. They are pretty self-explanatory, and they clip in. When they're secured, they do clip in completely, and you can hear them, see them clip. So let's clip them in. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so make sure when you get them in that they are fully clipped in and secured and ready to go. And so I'm gonna waddle on up here so you can see what that looks like. Yep, waddling along. I do not recommend waddling along at home, but they're both clipped in there. Okay, so 2 hoses, the hose connection to the control panel, and now we're ready to go. Okay, and I'm going to turn this to the side so that you can see up close and in person. Wait, I feel a little closer to everybody. Okay, there we go. So we're going to elevate the legs for liftoff. This is a perfect way to take a break from my day because I needed this break. Tell you what, came back to work after taking 11 days off. Been a busybody. Life is good, don't get me wrong, but this is a great little break to take. So if you're needing a set of these Access Pro air compression massager boots, what would you use them for? And if you are an athlete, what I like to know, like, what sport do you play? What position do you play? And how can you see using these on the sidelines, on the field, or at hotel rooms, or on the go? So we're going to turn on our control panel, and I'm going to peel off this protective coating because we can now, since we have unlocked the unit. And so we're going to go through the different massage functions. I probably should have thought about that before I moved over here. So let me grab my little book here because I do not have the different massage functions memorized. It's a lot of information to remember. So let me grab my book here and I'll show you as these are inflating, because they inflate very quickly. If you only have 10 minutes to enjoy them, 10 minutes is better than none. But again, we've got a total of, I take that back. We've got 8 compression. We've got 4 different body parts that we're trying to access, 8 different compression chambers. So we've got 8 different bladders. That's the difference that you're going to see here is we have 8 different hoses that are 8 different tubes that are attached to 8 different chambers. The originals and most other brands come with only 4, okay? But we're talking about 4 different body parts, one to the other. So what makes these special, we've got our foot, our calf, our knee, and our knee/thigh, and our hip. But we've got 8 different chambers that are airing up so that we're getting multiple changing compression from the bottom up, okay? 5 different massage modes. I'm going to go through those here in just a second. We increase at 5 different intensity levels. We start at 50 millimeters of mercury, 100 millimeters of mercury, 150, 200, and 250. So every intensity level goes up by 50 millimeters of mercury, okay? These are very, very quiet to use. They automatically turn themselves off. If you don't operate the control panel, it automatically turns themselves off. If you're wanting to use without the heating pad, you're going to get 2 to 3 hours of operation time without having to plug it into the wall. if you're wanting to use with the heating pad and you're wanting to plug in to be able to activate the enclosed heating pad at the same time, you're going to be able to use it from anywhere from 30 minutes to like 2 hours. Okay, so 30 minutes to 2 hours, and it takes 2 to 3 hours to charge. But remember, with this set of air compression boots, you don't have to have the full charge in order to use them. You can be completely battery dead, and you can plug it into the wall and keep going. Not all of our devices you can do that, but the Access Pro air compression boot systems make it convenient for that reason. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on massage mode number 1, which is referred to as A. So on the massage modes, you're going to see A, B, C, D, E. I'm going to go with a pressure of about 150, and I'm going to increase the time to 20 minutes, and we push play and we can go. We can also pause if we need to pause. You can change your programming as you go along. I can feel the compression starting to build up at the bottom on the inside panel. So if you're wanting to wear this on the outside, right now starting to inflate the outside panel at my foot, and it's just zigzagging back and forth all the way up the channel. So feels amazing. My feet, again, I've worked 14 hours straight yesterday with a lot of people on my feet the whole day. And so these feel absolutely wonderful. And again, I've got 2 broken toes, so it's quite convenient to be able to have the relaxation, the recovery, the healing. I'm going to go through the different programs for each mode because we've got 5 different modes, A through E. And when we're like right now, I'm in massage mode A. The air chambers are going to inflate and deflate one at a time. So what does that mean? That means my foot is going to inflate first, then my ankle slash calf is going to inflate while my foot deflates. Okay, so it's kind of so when one is inflating, the one below it is deflating. So right now my knee slash thigh area is starting to inflate. So my calf is deflating and the foot is deflated. So it's working in a cyclic all the way up the line. So that's mode A or mode 1. When we look at mode B, all the chambers, all 8 chambers are going to inflate all at once. And then all at once, they're all going to deflate together. So all 8, all 4 body parts, inside and outside, are going to air up all together. So you're going to feel the greatest intensity all at once. And then they're all going to deflate all at the same time. When we're looking at mode C, you're going to experience 2 air chambers are inflating and then they deflate at a time. And so when the first 2 air chambers are fully inflated, they begin to deflate as the 3rd and 4th chambers inflate. The 3rd and 4th chambers are going to deflate as the 5th and 6th chambers inflate, and so on. So what I mean by that is if we start at the bottom, the first 2 chambers are going to be inflating. As the next chamber up, which is my calf, starts to inflate on both sides, the bottom ones are going to start deflating at the same time. So it gets a little tricky, but it's a very cyclic, methodical process in how it's programmed. When we get to mode D, you've got 2 air chambers that are going to inflate at a time until all 8 are inflated, and then all of them deflate at the same time. So let's say my 2 chambers in my calf, they're going to inflate, and then my calf's going to inflate while the foot stays inflated. Then the thigh is going to inflate while the whole bottom is inflated, and it's going to move its way up, and then they all shut down at the same time. And then last but not least, our mode E, our 5th mode, every other air chamber inflates then deflates one at a time. So when the first air chamber is fully inflated, then it begins to deflate as the 3rd chamber inflates. So it's almost like a zigzag effect, okay? It gets tricky when you're listening to it until you can actually feel it. But I can tell you, if you can think about this kneading and doughing back and forth, It feels absolutely wonderful. So again, I want to know why you think you're going to benefit from having a pair of these sent to your home. And I want to know if you're an athlete, I want to know what sport you play, what position you play, and we'll consider that as you are. And never remind you, you don't have to be a kid to be an athlete. You can be a master's athlete, you can be a recreational athlete, you can be a weekend warrior. The way of defining athleticism in my line of work is any of those of the that are out there in the world, whether you've got arthritis or whether you've got some kind of a joint injury or condition, you've got autoimmune disease, it doesn't matter. As long as you're moving and you're staying physically active, you are an athlete. So if you like to play a particular sport, pickleball happens to be like the fastest growing sport right now in the country, quickly approaching across the entire world. If you're somebody who likes pickleball, I would like to know if you like pickleball. If you're somebody who likes to run, I'd like to know that you like to run. I'd like to hear what everybody likes to do across the different regions of the world or the country in which we present. Um, so those are the primary differences. We have this great booklet that shows you kind of how to use everything the way you use it. And again, if you're wanting to use the heating pad, you're going to stick that in and then plug in the USB port into the control panel, and then you can experience heat on a joint area at the same time. If you don't want heat and you would like to have a cold pack, then you're going to keep this in the freezer. You're going to tuck it into this little pouch, and then you're going to Velcro this into position or position it along the channel however you wish to experience it. It heats up really pretty quick. Only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to heat up, anywhere from 104 to 122 degrees for the heating pad. So pretty cool stuff. And then when we are looking at how we can utilize the control panel. The control panel, you actually have a battery compartment that you can add batteries to it. So if you're wanting to purchase replacement batteries to not have to be able to charge it all the time, it does have batteries, a battery compartment on the back. So there's ways in which you can utilize the manual to figure out how to use the battery compartment on the back to use it away from home. There's all different ways in which you can learn as to how to use it, the contraindications, the safety features. I won't go through all that stuff. If you have had a recent stroke, any kind of deep vein thrombosis, if you got arteriosclerosis, if you have any kind of neurosensory problem down in the extremity that you can't feel very well, you're just going to make sure you have a lot of extra caution. Get your physician's permission to use the air compression boots. But if you've had a recent stroke or a blood clot, do make sure you talk to your doctor before you use the boots. It's really, really important. Um, let's see here. What am I missing? There's so much information. I think I got most of it there memorized. When it comes to other contraindications, you don't want to use this if you have an open wound, if you have an ulceration, if you have uh, a really nasty, nasty bruise that is really inflamed because you've taken a direct hit from a fast moving object like baseball or softball. You just want to make sure that you're being mindful of some of those little things. If you have an acute injury, specifically a fracture, you want to make sure that you have doctor's clearance to use them. If you've got a stress fracture, that's more impact related. So a lot of people that we have that come in that have stress fractures, the boots feel really good to be able to really push that gunk and increase the circulation to allow healing to happen. But if you do have an actual fracture, you don't want to use compression boots with a fracture in the first week or so because we're creating more inflammation, more pressure. So we're trying to reduce that. If you have a history of cancer or vascular disease, check with your physician. Um, Again, any kind of an open wound, really important to not use our products if you have an open wound. And then I believe those are the main things, but there's all those different considerations to remember in the user manual here. And whew, I tell you what, this is great relaxation. So again, if you use the link attached, it's $449.99 today. If you use the code AMBER10, AMBER10, it's going to save you another $44. If you're wanting to buy another product, the Oculex is on super special right now for a spring sale. The Oculex is an eye massager and absolutely feels amazing when you combine that with the air compression boots. We have hand massagers, so you can have a hand massager sitting here. I have a client that we use the eye massager, the hand massager, the air compression boots, and then she got finished with that, and then we put her on some red light therapy. So a lot of different ways that you can mix and combine and cocktail complement our different products together so that you get the maximal type of recovery that you're looking for. Oh, this feels so good. I tell you what, it's hard to concentrate, hard to talk because it feels so good. I'm going into relaxation mode. I got to like snap out of it so I can continue to visit with all of you. Yeah, so these are the new Axis Pro air compression massager boots, and operates with the control panel, 2 to 3 hours without the heating pad, 30 minutes to an hour and a half with the heating pad. I'm sorry, up to 2 hours with the heating pad turned on. So let's talk about that real quick, because I didn't demonstrate that. So we're going to push pause, and we're going to plug that in. I'm going to take the gel pack out because I'm wanting to use the heating pad feature. And we just unzip. And our Velcro attachment is right here on the inside, and it says for the heating pad. And on the back, there's our Velcro. So we're just going to stick it on there, just like that. And then it falls right perfectly in line with the inside of my knee. We're going to make sure that the USB cord comes all the way up through the thigh so that we can plug it in to the control panel. We're going to zip it up. And then the USB port plugs right here on the end. So we're going to plug that in. And again, it just takes 2 to 3 minutes for the heating pad to start heating. And we are go. So now that, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't show on the panel right away how the heating pad is working. It just works the actual. Let me pull this back up so I can actually experience this. Okay, so we're plugged back in. The heating pad does not show as if it's working on the control panel, but it is heating. It is actively heating at the same time. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to get that temperature up to 104 to 122 degrees. So it happens very, very quickly. So if you're wanting to combine heat therapy with our air compression therapy, you can use that. If you're wanting to use ice or gel, you can use an ice pack gel pack on the inside with the compression. So it feels really, really good. Oh goodness, I actually have to continue to share with you because that's what you're listening to, but it's so relaxing. I just want to lay back and relax and take a nap. Okay, so we're talking circumference. Right now, again, the foot circumference, so the total circumference around the bottom of the foot is around 15.7 inches. When it comes to the calf circumference, it's 26 inches. Thigh circumference is 26 inches. Hip circumference is going to be 27.6 inches, okay? The whole length of the foot, so down at the bottom, across the bottom of the foot, 11.8 inches. So if you wear like a size 13, 14 shoe, you can still wear them, but your tippy toes might be pointing out the end. And the total leg length of the boot is 29.9 inches. Oh, feels so good. Yeah, so I gotta stay alert though, stay alert. I'm telling you, it is hard to focus when things feel as good as they do right now. So $449.99. Click on order summary at the bottom. When you get to the checkout page, you'll type under order summary, there will be a coupon code box there. Type in Amber10, AMBER10, and it will save you $44 off of today's price of the air compression boots. Oh, so wonderful. I actually have to come back to life and continue to talk. It's so hard when these feel so good. So my birthday is coming up, and if anybody is needing a good gift idea for birthdays, for those that are having birthdays around you, or for Mother's Day is always a great day to be gifting special items. Again, take a look at our spring sale because we've got the Oculex, we've got massage guns, the vibration platforms, they're always running some specials on the vibration platforms, specific ones, not all of them. But do make sure that you check out the big spring sale happening. And let's kick this off because it is time to see who our lucky winner is for the day. And again, so what I want to make sure and share with you as well, one of the disadvantages with the original Axis boots is you have to disconnect all of the hoses to the chambers in order to get them to deflate, and I don't like to wait. So with these, you only have to unplug from here. This little guy plugs into the actual control panel, and then just by detaching the one set of hoses actually deflates the whole boot. So you don't have to sit there and like mash them down and disassemble them in order to get them to flatten out. And then, like I said, what's really nice about them is when you're done using them, then you can conveniently zip them back up. Disinfection wise, we just use sanitation type disinfectant wipes. So like Lysol, Clorox wipes, whatever hand wipe you like to use that's antibacterial. Do use caution in using too much of spray, but if you have a hospital grade spray that you like to use, you can. But these just deflate. And then, like I said, we like to hang ours up so that we can keep them airing out and keep them from getting tangled. So we have our hoses that hang freely there. And there's, like I said, I really like this new set of boots. The Pro version are a little more expensive than the original version, worth every penny, in my opinion. Again, that makes 15 sets of boots here at our facility for us to use with our clients, as well as an extra set of boots for my house, because this is one of my absolute favorite toys to play with at home for relaxation and recovery. I'm using just a regular lawn chair, a zero gravity lawn chair, and in order to elevate my legs back so that I can truly relax. The control panel is all digitized with 5 convenient buttons without having to use too much in order to keep track of everything. Let's see what kind of questions we have here. Yes, JC Ann, they would be great for any kind of circulatory challenges into the extremities. If you're having challenges with Achilles tendonitis, that usually is a problem in our calves. So yes, you're going to get that nice little calf massage from the cyclic pumping of the different chambers all the way up. I'm seeing some of you here, video gaming, going into weightlifting. Oh, I love that. That is really cool. I absolutely love that. That is way awesome. Congratulations to you for finding a different purpose with your time. Fitness, weightlifting is really, really powerful. It's an easy way for us to keep from aging. It allows us to release all those good hormones in the ways that we need to. And I'm seeing here, oh, your daughter-in-law has MS and can't use any of the vibration devices. I hate to hear that because we have so many consumers that use our vibration devices with MS. In fact, Dr. Terry Walls is one of the greatest MS expert physicians in the world and is a spokesman for our products and how well they work. So I hate to hear that. If you are struggling with finding a product that you want to use with our technology, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us and we will try and find a way or a product that you can use for the aches and pains that you might have. With MS, the key is keeping body temperature at a good level because as the body temperature rises, the symptoms tend to worsen for a lot of people. So the air compression boots are quite helpful when it comes to having full control over what kind of massage, how much massage you get. For those of you who have arthritis in the legs, really, or in the knees, in the foot, ankle, and even in the hip, being able to get good circulation and vibration is a natural excitatory stimulus for our extracellular matrix, which is part of our fascial connective tissue system. It's kind of the control panel for the whole body. If you're able to access the fascia and how the fascia is managed by using the air compression. There's no vibration with the air compression, but what makes it nice is it's working kind of like it's using compression to squeeze through the extremity. And so if you think about squeezing out a dirty sponge, the pores in a dirty sponge have a lot of toxicity. And so when we have a dirty sponge, it is really hard to refill the dirty sponge up with clean water, clean hydration until we've wrung out all of the dirty. And so that's one way in which the air compression boots work really well for individuals who are dealing with autoimmune, are dealing with recovery from high intensity performance with sports, lactic acid buildup, oxidation, high oxidation, stress levels. If we can wring out our sponge in our human body, we've got so many different layers of that connective tissue that resemble a sponge. If we can compress and wring out the sponge, then it can rehydrate with water because it's supposed to be 80% water anyway. So if you're not drinking enough water, a lot of professional athletes will start their day with 30 ounces or so of water because it's what gets the whole system running. So if you're not drinking enough water, then your sponge is filling up with dirty stuff. So make sure you're filling your sponge, your human sponge, up with clean fluids. Yes, so I have our winner for the day. Our winner for the day for today's giveaway is Alice Bolden. Alice Boldon. Alice Bolden. Alice Bolden. You are our winner today for the Axis Pro Air Compression Boot Systems. And just for what it's worth, I do not pick the winner. Somebody else picks it, so it's completely unbiased from my conversation with all of you. But if I remember, Alice, you're learning how to play pickleball. Yay! That is so awesome. I'm so excited to see that. And after having an accident, you are dealing with arthritis in both knees and also training for your first 10K. Fantastic. Of all people in the world, I'm super excited that you got to receive this product. So Alice, if you could text me, it's at 317-446-7971. Text me your home address, the first and last name as you want it shipped to, your home address, your email, and your phone number, and LifePro will be contacting you or shipping that product directly to your doorstep with a full lifetime warranty. Yes, all of our products have a full lifetime warranty, which makes our company better than everybody else's because our customer service is top notch. So Alice, congratulations on winning the set of the Axis Pro Air Compression Massager Boots. You are one lucky person. So for all the rest of you, I'm excited to share that we've got more lives coming up. We do not have any more products coming out for a short while because we've released a new product on Fun Free Fridays every Friday for quite some time. And so we are restocking our innovative ideas and fine-tuning and perfecting new products yet to come out. And I'm sure there, are some great products that are in the works that you're not going to want to miss out on. But nonetheless, until then, I will be presenting on some very special topics. One of the topics that I'll be sharing with you in the next week is about the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is one of our cranial nerves here in at the base of our skull, and it is the light switch to being in stress reaction mode or recovery mode. And so it is a very powerful nerve to understand how it works, because I'm seeing a lot of people are struggling from post-COVID symptoms long-term, whether it's cardiovascular or respiratory, whether they've got autoimmune disease, whether they've got just high levels of anxiety, whether you're dealing with gut issues, GI tract, anything in the colon, gas, acid reflux. There's just so many different things. But the vagus nerve is one of the roots for so many different things that happen in the human body. And a lot of doctors don't talk about the vagus nerve. So I'm going to be presenting with you here soon in the next upcoming week about what the vagus nerve is, where it's located, why it's important, because it's one of the most powerful. I think it's the most powerful nerve in the human body because it splits off at cranial 10. It splits off, and one branch comes down one side of our body, the other branch comes down the other side of the body. And it is the light switch of being in reactivity, fight or flight, or being in rest, recovery, digestion. But you can't be in both at the same time. So I have learned how to hack into that nerve and how it works. And we do a lot of what's called vagal nerve stimulation for COVID clients who are struggling long term. But there are a lot of different things that you can use at home for free in order to recharge that nerve. And there are a lot of Life Pro products that you can use at home to help recharge that nerve. So we're going to be talking about the vagus nerve very soon in the upcoming week. And I'm very, very excited to be able to share those facts and the science with you so that you can. I think you're going to be very surprised how many of you are suffering of vagal nerve challenges and the vagus nerve not working at the level that it should work for the greater good of feeling at your best. And so we're going to talk about how you can hack into your vagus nerve from the convenience of your home with the right information to be able to feel your best version of yourself possible. Until then, we at Life Pro want to take a little extra time and say thank you to all of you for continuing to learn and share the journey with us. We are so proud to be able to help you from the convenience of your homes. We are excited to be able to educate and share our expertise with all of you. We are so excited to be able to learn how your lives are changing at home and using that information to transfer that positive energy to other people who are seeking out the same answers that aren't getting the answers that they want from medical professionals. Being a medical professional licensed here in Indiana, we don't always have all the answers. And a lot of the problem is they don't have time to share with you everything. So the fact that Life Pro provides time for us to be able to share with you the science, the evidence, and the modalities and the devices that you can use at home at no extra cost to you other than the cost of the device, with the leadership and the instructions to doing so, and the results that we're seeing across the entire world with other customers using it. I think you're going to be very, very excited to see how much you can change your own life from the convenience of home. So from Life Pro, on behalf of Life Pro, I want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you and for providing us the purpose that we so love and enjoy to be able to make a difference in all of you. For those of you who are needing to reach out to us, you can contact us, support@lifeprofitness.com. You can send an email through them. You can send a message through Messenger, through Facebook or Instagram. We have professionals who are actively watching and answering questions on our YouTube group, on our Facebook group, as well as myself. If you have questions for me personally, or for Debbie, or for Roseanne, make sure when you list it into the VIP group or on the Facebook group for Life Pro, tag us because I go through and check my social media all the time and want to make sure that we're able to answer the questions as you're tagging us. But if you don't tag us, we don't know that you're asking us a question if we're not able to read all the information. If you have questions about pain management or what product might work best for you, feel free to text me. The number is 317-446-7971. I got a little jingle that goes with that. It's 317-446-7971. I came up with that jingle years ago to teach my daughter how to remember my number in the form of a song. So there's my jingle. But feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. If you're having trouble getting through with customer service, reach out to us. And if we have to pass the information up the channel, we can. But we're here to serve you, and we are beyond grateful for the opportunity to take care of you as our customers and just sharing. Whether you're a customer or not, we love to being able to share our science or technology with you because we are at the world-class level of how we can get into the human body and help the human body, providing it the optimal environment for it to heal itself. So thank you all so much for watching today. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, wonderful weekend. And those of you that celebrate Easter, happy Easter to all of you. Thank you so much for watching.